we can report that the top line of this package has been scaled down from the original $3.5 trillion now to something in the $1.75 trillion range. And there are a lot of headlines on what stays in and what has been cut out. Here's what we know remains. In the new framework, the president is going to try to convince Democrats to get behind. There will be universal pre-K, elder care funding, an expanded child tax credit at least through 2022. Remember, they wanted more years, but they only got one, it seems. A clean energy funding and tax credit. There is at least $555 billion dedicated to climate in this latest new proposal, smaller than what they wanted originally, but still one the White House is going to say is the largest investment ever made in a bill of this fashion. And there is some expanded Medicare and Medicaid coverage. But what's notable is that what Senator Bernie Sanders and progressives wanted for hearing, dental, and vision, not all of those are going to make it in. And then most notably, what's out, what's not on that graphic we just showed, there was no mention of paid family leave. That right now seems to be completely out of this framework. No free community college. There will be some Pell Grants. There will be investments in affordable housing, free school meals, and then something that will be very interesting to be debated. There will be $100 billion proposed for immigration reform funding, but that will be subject to some rules in Congress about whether they can actually attach that to this. So critical to remind everybody, the president is going to lay this out later this morning, but the bigger question is, can he get his own party behind it first?
So, okay, first of all, this is not too bad. This is not so bad. And usually when you say not so bad, it sounds like a rip. You know what I mean? In this case, it's very, very high praise. Why? Because Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema were determined to make this very, very bad, to make this ineffective and useless, and to make it, something no one would notice, So not too bad will do just fine in this scenario because the alternatives were way, way too bad. So there's a lot of good stuff in here. There really is. It's just a rough outline. That's what you have to understand. And a lot of it can and will change. We're not there. We're on the... Okay, I'm sorry. I don't want to hear their names anymore. I don't want to hear Kirsten Sinema. I don't want to hear Joe Manchin's name. I want two new senators, one from Arizona, and I want another one from West Virginia, and I want both of them to be real Democrats. That's what I want. Everyone is exhausted from getting to know these two. Oh, by the way, I have to show you something. Do you have that graphic? This is my favorite thing on the internet yesterday. This is my absolute favorite thing. You know how I was talking about what we're going to line dance, like her inappropriate idea of what is suitable to wear when you preside over the United States Senate? Well, it seems like that was a familiar outfit. Maybe it was a Halloween thing and she was going as Aaron Neville. Maybe it was. Because look, this is Aaron Neville's Twitter feed. This is Aaron Neville tweeting out that he believed he wore it better. And he tweets out the exact outfit that Kirsten Sinema chose to wear. Look at that. That's wow. Now, gotta say, he's a musician, okay? And she apparently shops at Old Navy, which is fine. I do too, but I stay away from the vest rack, okay? Oh, just wanted to, so I'm done with her. I'm done with her fashion choices. I'm done with trying to figure out where she is on things or why she doesn't talk to her constituents or if she's going to change parties and run as an independent to avoid being primaried, which she will be because this was inexcusable behavior by a Democratic senator, a freshman Democratic senator. But anyway, we are headed in the right direction, but we did start with plans that were much, much bigger. Here's what I want you to understand. As I go through what is in this, and there's some really good stuff, I want you to keep in your head that not one single Republican will help pass this, because if we had Mitch McConnell as still the Senate Majority Leader, meaning they had the Senate, we didn't get Warnock, and we didn't get, oh man, I just blanked out on his name. The young, what? Yes. Ossoff. If we didn't get Ossoff and we didn't get Warnock in a special, election in Georgia, and Mitch McConnell remained the Senate Majority Leader, meaning they had the majority, trust me, we would be talking about none of these things. None of them, not any of them, would have been introduced for the consideration of the United States Senate. Okay, it would. So here's what we got, and by got, I'll explain what I mean. But here's what's in the framework. The framework. The text, in case you're curious, is out. It's 2,000 pages. Go on, get to it. 2,000 pages in legislative language. Woohoo, everybody. Looks like a weekend. I'm so excited. No. But everybody will have a chance to look at it. And, of course, Mansion and Cinema, they'll have a chance to take a sledgehammer to it, which is why we have an issue today. Okay, but here's what's in the framework. For childcare, healthcare, and the care economy, extending the expanded child tax credit only for 1 year. Okay, that's just 1 year, which is great if you're a parent of a child for 1 year. You know, if you were planning on having a child for 1 year, this is good. Just saying. Okay, let's move on to something that is more than 1 year. Okay, universal pre-K. We got universal pre-K, and that's authorized for 6 years. So that's good. We got child care funding for families of 4 earning less than $300,000 a year that will pay that will prevent anyone in that category, families of 4 up to $300K a year, from having to pay more than 7% of their income for child care for kids under 3, because we're going to have universal pre-K that kicks in at 3. So that's a good deal. We got funding to reduce premiums for the 9 million people who buy their insurance on the marketplace for the, Obamacare, right? And we got $600 per person per year to help you pay for your premiums on the exchange through 2025. Now that's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. It's still limited. It's still capped at a certain income, blah, 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 which means, a lot of us don't even get the subsidy. But if you do, you're good. We closed the Medicaid coverage gap in red states. Now, this is where the language actually matters. And I obviously have not read these 2,000 pages. I'm sure you have. So feel free to chime in at any point and tell me what you've noticed in the language. But this isn't the original proposal. Instead, what you'll get is subsidies for you will be offered through the ACA exchanges for people who qualify for Medicaid in red states that refuse to expand Medicaid. I'm guessing this means that if you are low income and you qualify for Medicaid in 12 of the states that refuse to expand it, you now have a place where you can go, the exchange, it's healthcare.gov. You can go to healthcare.gov and you can fill out the enrollment application. It doesn't take too long. I've done it. I have to do it every year. It's not hard. It's big block letters. It's super easy, blah, blah, blah. And then if you qualify for Medicaid, you can buy it. You can actually apply for it. You don't have to buy it. You can apply for it through the ACA exchange. That's their way around the red states not wanting to expand Medicaid. Like I said, I got to read that. Taxes, we got a 5% surtax on income above 10 million. That's not bad. 3% surtax on income above 25 million. Corporate minimum tax of 15% on the corporations that make more than $1 billion in profits. I'm guessing this is over 3 years. Have to read it. A global minimum tax of 15% on foreign profits if you're a United States corporation, so that they can't shop around and shift their profits overseas. Okay, so that's something that will start to reorient our economy in our favor, where it starts to make some sense. Don't have time to listen to the live show? Want to hear more on your schedule? Go to randyrhodes.com and buy a stinking podcast.